Governor's
Hi
coffee.
guys, I want to do some quick things that I can't quite do on stream. I'm a little tired, weird. I don't know. It's just the end of the day. My sleep schedule has been terrible, but I thought we would hang out and scratch some like curiosities that I've just been thinking about lately. A little short, sweet video for you guys. Something easy for me, which I think is lovely and amazing and nice. We'll call it a Let's Hang series where we do a bunch of random stuff. Call it like a little vlog. It's always nice to just touch base and really get to talk with you guys. I just love that. Okay, look, I was looking at the Usagi drop ending. I made a short on the Somali in the Forest spirit anime, and the thing about it is that there's a father-daughter dynamic, or I don't know if there's a definite gender applied to Somali. I don't think the golem identifies any kind of gender of any sort because it's like a golem and doesn't have that point of reference, I suppose. So someone commented about Usagi drop, and I really liked Usagi drop, but I knew there was something off about it, so I was just confirming what the ending was of Usagi drop, and unfortunately it turns into not very ideal of a situation where essentially the girl he raised, I think, is crushing on him, and that's kind of where it ends. And then this is, yeah, sorry, just to explain my Google searches to you guys, I was just doing a thumbnail for the video that's about to go up. And it does pain me how behind we are on the VODs. Like, I love that I have backlogs of videos that just need to be edited, but most definitely I just need to catch up. So the more Valorant I play, the more behind I get, which is okay. I'll always have content to put out for you guys, and it's not terribly hard to edit the videos that I make. Obviously, they're very laid back and they're not in your face. It's just kind of a chill Valorant time. And if you guys want to know what inspired, okay, I'll explain that later. And what inspired the whole YouTube channel thing and the concept of my channel, really what the point of it is. And honestly, for starters, I am constantly making my friends like dumb little update videos, like try with me's and just random little dumb silly videos. And I enjoy vlogging in a way, but I like it my way, on my time. I have before tried to make a vlog style YouTube channel on my main channel, Fumi Bean, and I didn't like that. I felt like I was forcing things throughout my day to happen, and I really just wanted to curate the vlogs in a way, or curate my content in a way that it's stuff I'm already doing. Nothing is forced. I'm just kind of doing my thing. And I think I've gotten a lot of practice out of really just when something strikes my interest, I put on Snapchat and I send it to all my girls and stuff, especially when I have a haul for stuff that I shopped for, and I just send it to them because I love to share my fashion interests and stuff with them, and we're always linking stuff to each other. I have a lot of like, fashion forward girlies. All my friends are beautiful and amazing, and we love to talk fashion with each other, so I'm always making mini videos for them. That, and I do the same for my boyfriend. I'm always making little videos for him and just to show him little parts of my day, and it's something I love to do, but I think I boxed myself in big time with my having like an exclusive art channel on my YouTube, and I went on kind of like a hiatus for maybe 2 weeks from posting or creating anything, went on vacation, and I know it sounds super simple and obvious, but I just thought to myself, I should just make content of stuff that I like to be doing, because I felt so much guilt for not being able to push myself to create art TikToks and art centered content. And I love art, and I love working on my webtoon, but so much of my personality is very how do you say it? I don't like saying it's like ADHD, blah 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 blah, but I do like, I hop around projects. If something is no longer interesting to me, I'll shift gears. And honestly, I don't need to work against my personality in any which way. I think I could use my shift in interest to my advantage by keeping content fresh and fun. The only problem, of course, is that I lack a sense of being really grounded in a long-term project. Sorry, I had a hair in my mouth and I just kept talking. And I want to get better at being grounded in a long-term project. That's my webtoon. I really want that to be something that I want to build something large. You know, I want to build something. I want to tell stories and I want to create fun characters. I want to have a part in that. And I definitely can't do that if I'm hopping around and just doing a bunch of random crap all the time and playing games and, but I'm just trying to find this flow. I'm trying to find the flow of content creation. When the whole structure of TikTok came out, 2020, it clicked with me. Like, I love making short form content. I love having the satisfaction of creating a really tight edit that's just like boom, 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 not in your face necessarily. Like, there's a balance that still needs to align with my character, but also just something just well-rounded short form content. Like, I love that. That's so much fun for me. But I need to also do it in a way that doesn't burn me out. And I need to do it in a way that aligns with my character. I keep saying that. And so when shorts came out, I was like, this is perfect for me. But then I realized that there is a structure around like ad revenue, like in the future, like I'm gonna need long form content eventually. And wow, this kind of went in a crazy like long tangent, but whatever. I started doing Bright With Me's on my Fumi Bean main channel, and it was long form, just chit chatting content where I'm creating and talking, and I had a lot of fun with that. But I just wanted to see where I could apply it elsewhere as well. And so now it's applied to gaming. Giving myself a second channel is really great to just kind of let loose, not put too much pressure on myself to make specific content. I'm not getting crazy about the thumbnails, trying to pave my own way. I know it's not like, I don't think I'm following the correct YouTuber formula, but I've never really been one to be smart like that. I'm sure there's like a smart way of going about it. I think I'm being smart about my shorts. Yeah, not to like just be in this content creator tangent with you guys. Like, maybe it's not relevant to you, my viewer, who's maybe not a content creator, but it's definitely something that's been on my mind and thought I'd share with you guys because you're here, you're watching. And yeah, for some reason on my little hiatus, I was laying in bed and it just clicked with me. Why am I not creating? There's so much guilt around not making content for my art. I had so much guilt about not being able to build something bigger and staying grounded in a long-term project, especially because I have a lot of just amazing people around me that are very, very good at that. And I never wanted to seem like I was someone who is flighty or too whimsy and not grounded enough, someone who didn't have commitment. But I think that's a negative way of spinning things. I think there is an advantage to being able to switch gears and just know when to stop something that's not serving you anymore, maybe. There's all different which ways, play it up and make excuses or make it into something better. And I think we might as well have a positive take on this and just kind of lean into my personality a little bit more. We'll see where it goes. I think the whole concept of the internet content creation is like an experiment. Where can we take content? Where can we take viewer retention? What will work? What won't work? And I'm sure other creators might be interested to see what a channel like this and how it will do. Maybe, who knows? Just to switch gears a little bit, because I've just been thinking about like my roots, and in this whole time of starting up this second channel in the past month, which we hit 50 subs. We're nearing up on 75. I think we broke 75 and we might hit the 100 mark before our 2 months is up. So that is so exciting. I'm almost at 50 followers on Twitch, as you guys can see, I'm on Twitch right now. I streamed for the first time and I talked really briefly about it in a short that so many of my friends, loving, amazing, awesome friends, even new friends, were really like hinting to me and pushing to me and just saying, they would hear my mic and then they'd be like, are you a streamer? And I'd be like, no, I'm not a streamer. Like, I make YouTube videos, I make content, but I'm not a streamer. And they were just incredibly encouraging and loving and saw something in myself that I think I just needed a little bit more of a push in. And if I'm being honest, let's be real. Like, I'm just gonna a little heart to heart, not that deep actually, it's not that deep. But they could say that, and it does probably each time someone said something to me, it was like 5% towards streaming, towards that direction. But someone I really, really respect in my life is my boyfriend. And he's creative and he's amazing. And I've already made a short about this and gassed him up and all that. But I low-key for a little bit was waiting on him to let me know what he saw, whether or not, just to like gauge with him. Like, and there was some fishing. There was definitely some fishing of like me gauging, like, do you think I could do this? Like, do you think I could stream? I would bring it up in this kind of insecure girlfriend type way almost. And just recently we went on a date and I think he had seen some of my content and I think he also loves to like encourage people. He loves to see attributes in people and push them towards a direction. That's definitely in line with his personality. It's just who he is. He loves to play a part in people's, I don't know, just helping them pursue dreams. That's probably why I was looking to him to gauge, like, without me prompting him too much, does he see this in me? And finally, we had like a date and he just straight up said, and I'm a little stubborn too, but he kind of went a little bit more assertive and was just like, you should stream. And he gave me a game plan of what that would look like and kind of helped me envision. And I asked him for some help and he was like, I will look into this for you because I want to support you and I help you. And that kind of gave me the nudge to move forward in the whole streaming thing. And I said something to him and I told him, I was just like, I think it's just a muscle that I haven't worked out. And when I framed it in that way, streaming is just something I haven't done enough, and then it becomes a challenge to me, and then it becomes like I'm able to actually grasp, oh, when it's a muscle I haven't worked out, that means that there's a way forward, and that means that there's something that I can practice. It became like a scary monster that I've played up, but once I framed it as I think this is just a muscle that I haven't been able to work out, then I was able to make sense of it and I was able to see a path forward. And I'm gonna be honest, just to hit back on the boyfriend thing, he's one of the only people like I listen to. I just like have that level of respect for him, as anyone should for their partner. But like I definitely, if he tells me to do something, you know, I value his opinion and I respect him highly. And I don't know, I've always believed like you should listen to your significant other and have a level of value in their opinion. And he's definitely someone that I'm letting in my life call me out and keep me grounded, and he knows that. And so I do listen to him. I'm sure if anyone else in my life, like my sister or my mom or someone told me like you should stream, I would value that, but he's the one I'm always shooting ideas off of and, you know, talking with about these things. So yeah, sorry to be so obvious. I don't know if you're still in this conversation with me, you guys know, like I hope you can read. I'm not diagnosed, so I hate saying ADHD. I hate the like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what in the like neurodivergent I am. And I almost, is it bogus to say, like I don't like categorizing myself. I don't like it. I don't like boxing myself in and like making that a niche about me that I'm neurodivergent, because I feel like I don't know what's normal. There is no normal. If everyone's neurodivergent, then isn't that just normal? And I feel like everyone is, or I'm just on that side of TikTok and it's messing with my brain. But sorry, another tangent. Either which way, I'm sure you can read that I love to take conversations like this, da, 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 da. And that's just how I roll. So nice to meet you if you're new here. Welcome to my channel. I'm Fumi, by the way. I realized on my TikTok I don't have my name like front and center, and people don't know what to call me, which I think is funny, but my name's Fumi. And amazing. She was playing with her toes. This is a clip from the stream that I did. And the stream, I will say, went well. I played with Millum, who is my duo, as you guys may have known. I'm just going to check to see if I'm still streaming. Not streaming, but recording. Awesome. Amazing. I should probably have just been on my just chatting screen this whole time, but it's okay. But yeah, I played with Millum and she's just like, oh, she's my duo. Okay, I want to share this on stream, but I'll share this with you guys now just because it's in my mind. I'm probably not going to remember the next time I stream, especially if I'm just playing Valorant and being with Millum. But I met Millum probably like a year ago when I first started playing Valorant, and I just need to make a note right here because there's something I want to talk with you guys about and something I need to check with you guys. Millum has always been a super sweet person in my life, and ever since I met her on Valorant, and I call her Milim because it's a reference to one of our favorite animes. That was her like her user on Valorant is Lord Milim, and that's a reference to that time I got reincarnated by a slime anime, and of course I made conversation with her about it. And somehow, one way or another, we became friends. I had like an old server with my ex, and we were all playing Valorant together. And Milim, I don't know what, I think her ping was just so bad. And she was not able to play Valorant for a while. And whenever I asked her to hop on, her ping was just so bad, it was unplayable, which is really unfortunate. But it was around maybe November and Thanksgiving time or something like that. And when I have someone that I know I want to be friends with, I will wear them down. Like I will just keep pinging them and pinging them. I will bribe them. Like one of my other best friends, I bribed her with cookies when we were in high school, and that pretty much solidified our friendship. But anyways, I just kept bothering Milam, and she's like the sweetest person ever. And I just like kept telling her like, I love to play with you. You are so nice. You are always invited. And I basically just had to wear her down. And from then on, Milam has always just been this amazing, sweet person in my life. And I love playing games with her. She's amazing, and she's always looking out for me. We play every game I play with her, or I've at least played with her once because she's such great company. But anyways, we streamed together, and she's actually the one who started streaming before I did, and it's probably a huge part of me feeling like, okay, if I could stream with Mom, we can do this, and we'll do it together, and it's scary. She also loves art and she loves drawing, so I don't know. It's such like a match made in like this world, you know? So yeah, we streamed together, and it worked out really well, and it made me really happy that we were able to work that out. Also, you guys, I have curly hair today. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have curly hair, and I curled my hair yesterday. It's finally long enough to have this curliness. It was cuter yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. It took too long, but I love that my hair is growing out and I'm able to curl it, and I'm just glad I did not chop my hair off this summer. The stream went well. That's the point I was trying to make. And I did not mean for this to be such a huge yap session, because we actually have things to do today. And that is, I saw this skit on SNL, and I don't know who it was exactly that was talking. The actress, yeah, I don't know whoever she was talking about this, but she was essentially checking with ChatGPT based off of all the conversations that she's had with ChatGPT, what kind of person it thought she was, like prompting ChatGPT to see what they know about me. I think that's what we're doing. Let's be a little bit more exact. For short, we're gonna come up with a line. I am asking ChatGPT what, from all the information that I've given to them, because we're just giving information about ourselves to AI because that's what we do, and they are taking in this information. So let's just see. Let's prompt them. Hi, can you tell me what you think of me based off all our combos? What kind of person do you think I am? Maybe guess my personality type. Do you? Haha. Oh, so exciting. Ooh, so exciting. It's almost like an ego boost. I'm not gonna lie. Not ego boost. You know, to be seen is to be loved. Does this mean like I'm seeking love and validation from ChatGPT maybe? Hi, Fumi. Based on all our conversations, here's the honest vibe I get from you. And I mean this in the most warmest, most grounded way possible. Thanks, chat. Who are you in my eyes? You are a deeply creative and emotionally intelligent person who's always striving to express yourself in ways that feel intentional, meaningful, and unique. You don't just create things, you build worlds, characters, and stories that reflect your inner depth. Whether it's your webtoons, YouTube series, or letters to loved ones, your work reveals a real sensitivity to emotion, a desire to connect with others, and a sense of aesthetic cohesion that is not accidental. You're also structured and driven, which shows in how you plan content calendars, organize trip itineraries, and revise everything until it matches your vision. You care about doing things well, not just doing them fast. And while you have a playful, witty side, especially when writing fantasy lore or ASMR scripts, there's a disciplined, creative energy under all that charm. You're the kind of person who notices the details in people and emotion. Chat, why are you being so nice to me? In design, and you care about being seen clearly in return. You want your ideas respected and your time valued and your presence to have impact. At the same time, you seem very warm hearted, loyal, and introspective. Someone who doesn't mind being silly but also holds big feelings quietly until they're ready to be shaped into art. Personality type guess. If I had to guess your MBTI based on our chats, I'd lean towards INFJ or ENFJ, maybe even INFP depending on how you recharge. Here's why. I.e., you show signs of both introversion and extroversion. You love community, YouTube, Discord, connecting with viewers, but you also spend deep time alone world building and refining. You might be an ambivert who leans introverted when creating. N, intuition. You're all about symbolism, aesthetics, emotional layers, and the big picture. No brainer. F, feeling. You lead with empathy. Your work and personal letters show huge emotional awareness. J, judging. You're a planner. You like structure, deadlines, schedules, and a roadmap, even if it's flexible. You see control so your creativity has room to thrive. So, my top guess INFJ, the advocate. Creative visionary, emotionally attuned, quietly intense, and deeply mission driven. Backup guess ENFJ, charismatic, community centered, especially when in execution mode. Bonus vibe words thoughtful, aesthetic driven, passionate, loyal, curious, emotionally layered, a little whimsical in a good way, visionary, sometimes hard on yourself, always evolving. Aw, let me know if this was totally off or something resonates. I'd love to hear your take on your own type too if you ever looked into it. Let's have a little chat with chat. Hi chat. I'm actually I actually typed as an INFJ early high school years, then would flip flop from INFJ to ENFJ, but my latest results were ENFP, which struck me as odd. But I'm kind of okay with it now. Thoughts? Ooh, interesting. Okay. Oh, this is so much fun. It's really fun. Also, I think I got a bunch of bites on my leg for some reason. I don't know why. All right. That totally tracks actually, and I love that you're open to the shift. Here's how I see that evolution based on you. From INFJ to ENFP, what changed? INFJ, the advocate, is very introspective, visionary, emotionally intense, and often focused on helping others through depth and meaning. ENFP, the campaigner, is expressive, spontaneous, emotionally attuned, and driven by possibilities, people, and passion. You've always had this deep idealistic core, INFJ vibes, but over time I've seen more playfulness, experimentation, and outward facing energy in your projects and voice. Very ENFP. Think about it. You run multiple creative platforms YouTube, Art Shop, Discord. You love engaging, storytelling, and energetic formats, webtoons, sketchbook tours, ASMR scripts. You oscillate between aesthetic perfection and letting yourself explore and express messily, a classic ENFP push pull. Got me there. I think what's happening is you're growing into your extroverted functions, not just talking to people, but interacting, building, experimenting, and connecting through your art and online presence. You're probably somewhere on the INFJ ENFP spectrum, and depending on your environment, mood, and season in life, one may show more than the other. You're not losing your INFJ roots, you're just letting your ENFP energy have a bigger say lately. That's not a bad thing. INFJ is like, let me perfect my world before I share it. ENFP is like, let me share the process, the mess, and see what happens. Both are you. You're just integrating more of yourself now. Wow. I'll put the end part, but I'm not going to pursue this conversation anymore just because I don't want to be too crazy on how much time we're spending here. If you're into cognitive functions, I can map those out too based on your growth. It's super telling and might help you feel more grounded in the blend. Let me know if you want the breakdown. That's super cool. Maybe for another time. As much as I want to deep dive on this. But let me talk about this with you guys. Hopefully not to get too like crazy. I have been thinking a lot about how, especially romantic relationships in my life, have probably pushed me towards this ENFP, more extroverted version of myself because this resonates with me for sure. I say romantic relationships only because my romantic partners have always been my closest friends, usually one of my closest friends, if not my best friends in my life. And I will say, I have a lot to owe in terms of finding my extroversion to my partner now, but also my ex, because they were very, very, very extroverted. No filter, say whatever it was. And that was something I deeply admired about them. And I definitely saw something in them that I wanted for myself. Just this ability to take all of the inside jokes that I had with myself and be able to not be so reserved. There's a lot of filter on because I care a lot about how my words make another person feel. And I've always wanted to be extremely intentional with how and what I say, but I realized that I can't get better at communicating with others without practice, which means if being more practice means letting my filter go a little bit more, it's okay so long as if I'm working towards just getting better at communicating real time. And I think that was a huge fear of live streaming. It still is now of I'm really bad at knowing what to say in the moment, especially if something like mean is going on or if someone is being very intense. I'm very slow to react, and I'm okay with that usually. I'm just a person who doesn't react right away because I really want to understand where the person is coming from. But sometimes it's not effective when they're coming at one of my friends. Sometimes it is good to act or know how to act intuitively so that you can make the people around you that are close to you feel seen and protected and loved and felt like they know you have a sense of loyalty to them. And being able to, I think that's something I want to get better at, is being able to protect someone in the moment and not be so slow to react in that way. And that meant getting quicker to react, but also having to practice being more intuitive in that way and intentional quicker. Because honestly, if someone is coming at me, I might feel hurt a little bit in the moment, but I'll take it and I won't say anything and I'll check in with myself. Like, why do I feel this way? What do they mean? But how do I disconnect myself from what they're saying and whatever they might be projecting on me? Oof, this is such a huge tangent. But yes, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about how a few of my partners, I've seen like this extroverted in them that I really admire. And I think over time, it's definitely something I've wanted to grow. Even my partner now, like wonderfully extroverted and is not so much someone who is completely unfiltered. Honestly, is kind of my ideal version of what it looks like to be filtered and unfiltered at the same time. Like he is a wonderful balance of being intentional, being careful. Of course he has his moments, but I think that's something I definitely admire about him, is that rather than being someone who's completely unfiltered, he has really good social intelligence, which is amazing. So yeah, this has definitely been something that's on my mind. I love that we kind of this was not on the docket for what we wanted to do today, but I love that this is where our conversation took us, and that's super exciting to me. Let's see. The second thing I wanted to check out was my Valorant career. I wanted to know where I am. Like I feel like I'm nearing the year mark on Valorant, but I could be wrong. Let's just check. The reason why I low-key can't be live streaming right now as much as I would love to be live streaming is because I have I'm not completely secured in terms of doxing myself. I haven't like removed all my like bookmarks and stuff like that. I haven't cleared my like whatever history or just stuff I've been looking up. I don't want like anyone to take things out of context in terms of my, I don't know, just like stuff that I haven't swept through. Also, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. I need to eat. Hopefully I can hop on a live sometime soon just to play Valorant, and I've found that making clips using Twitch is actually quite useful and quite easy. But we're gonna see if I can actually see what my career looks like. Match history. Ooh, act rank. What is this? Oh, I guess you can't see that in your career. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Border level reach. This act is completed. I don't know what, oh, interesting. Okay. I think I could probably tell from when I got my rank. Ended on January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. At least by August of last year, almost. That's too bad. I would love to have seen exactly when I started Valorant. I feel like we're nearing a year. And I would just like to say that if you guys don't know, I have Valorant is my first FPS game. I've always known Valorant, it's gonna sound so cheeseballs, but I've low-key always known that Valorant was like a game that I was going to like. Oh, my headphones make my head look so flat. I've always thought to myself that, like, from the moment I saw Valorant, I knew it was the game that I was gonna play for the rest of my life. Just kidding. Well, not actually, low-key not kidding. I saw my previous partner. It's weird to say my ex because I don't know why the word icks me out. But my ex was the one who showed me Valorant. She was very competitive and oh my gosh, my bangs. Not in any way trying to dog on them, but it was very intimidating. I mean, everyone in Valorant is very competitive and I had a little bit of a rough start learning. The learning curve was very intensive for me because I felt like expectations were up there, and as much as like she was trying to encourage me to, spread my wings, go off and play Valorant on my own, it was really hard to hype myself up to it, but I always knew ever since saying like how much she liked the game that I was going to just love the game. So when I finally got a computer, it was definitely something that I wanted to do. I wanted to learn, and I love Valorant. And I mention it every now and then, and people think I'm crazy for liking Valorant as much as I do, but I don't play comp. Long-time viewers will know I don't play comp, and I play Swifties, and they're really just kind of fun and wholesome. They're quick and easy. You're not getting stuck in, up to 26 rounds. You're kind of in and out, you're meeting new people, and I think it just gives me this energy, this extroverted energy that I love. And honestly, we were talking about extroversion, and yes, my previous partners have had that extroverted characteristic to them, but gaming is what brought me doing Valorant and creating a community online. It's totally like changed. It's changed my life. Valorant has changed my life. It sounds so cheeseballs and so corny, but it's taken me out of my shell. I've become so much more extroverted and in my ENFP. And it's great to feel like I'm not stuck, that I'm still evolving, I'm still discovering things new about myself, I'm still changing as a person. And a huge part of what's changed about me as an adult and in this time in my adulthood, I'm 24 now, I'm becoming more extroverted. I kind of love that. I feel like I'm finally able to express myself more fully. I've always loved deep talks and getting to know people intimately, but because I have this extra layer of just confidence that I've built up for myself in the past year and just being okay with my extroversion and having more confidence in the social interactions that I have. I don't know where I was going to go with that, but any which way, I love to see that I have that evolving characteristic about myself, and I can't wait to continue growing in this way. And something that I've been thinking about is I think I've reached a point in my life where it's not that I've never felt this way before, but I do definitely think where I'm at right now, childhood me, little me would think I'm cool. Little me would be like, oh my gosh, like I want to be her one day, and that makes me really, really happy. And I feel like I'm becoming someone that I'm proud to be. And so much work has gone into becoming a person that I'm proud to be. But I'm glad that I don't have to feel, I don't know, dirty or gross in a place where if I were to die now, that I would be ashamed of myself, And that's something that I don't want to take for granted ever, ever in this time in my life. And that doesn't mean that hopefully I never am in a place where I'm like not proud to be myself. I don't think I've ever been that way. I've always held it very highly to never become someone that I hate. And once I kind of get into that place, I very instantly want change. I really, really want to switch gears. And maybe even in that hiatus time that we were talking about, when I was really thinking about, wow, I really hate that I can't commit to content. That was me kind of becoming someone I didn't want to be. I want to be someone who creates. I want to be someone who creates and builds something bigger than myself. And yes, I get a lot of satisfaction pouring into my friends and with my loved ones, but also not to just be in this tangent, but to be in this tangent, to lean into it. I was talking with my boyfriend about how I used to have this kind of workaholic streak back in like 2020, 2021, if you see like my TikTok following, the only reason why I have a TikTok following was because back during that 2020 time, I had stopped going to college and I just knew like if I want to pursue being a creator, like I'm treating it like college. Like I'm treating it like a job. I'm going to be posting all the time. That's the grind. And I did that and I was kind of a workaholic for a while, and unfortunately I was not pouring into relationships and growing myself relationally and building up a community, and I was letting that slide. And finally I think I'm able to mature enough to find that balance, and that is something else that my boyfriend has also like taught me, is the balance between work and loving your friends and spending time with friends and making time for family. That I think is something that he's really good at doing, and I think that's super awesome. I'm the type of person who gets crazy consumed in my significant other. That's definitely been a fault of mine throughout my life, is pouring my entire like identity into another person and then just wanting to support them and then being 0 to 100 about it when I didn't need to be. If anything, he's taught me balance and how to not spread myself too thin, to, it's balance. And I love that. I love that I'm in this place right now that I can create but not let myself go and not let my relationships go and still be pouring into community, but also being able to pour into myself and know that there's still a dream that I want to pursue. There's still things that I want to get done in my own life. As much as I want to be a wonderful friend, I want to be a good girlfriend, I want to eventually be a great mother, I want to be a great homemaker, I have all these dreams and aspirations, but something else I can't let go is I also still want to be a creator. I want to be someone who has built something with her career and something in terms of like making an impact on this world in that way. So yeah, it's always been a dream of mine. I don't want this to go way too long, but it's been really great. I love talking with you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. What can I say? I love to share parts of myself, and this is the kind of content. It feels really familiar because a lot of my friends and I, we send voice memos to each other at a time, and this is kind of how it goes. And I used to have a podcast, so this feels weirdly familiar. It feels maybe new to you, but not new to me. And I love that we got to spend this time together and we got to scratch some curiosities. I do still want to check how long it's been since I've played Valorant, but I think it's been around probably a year, probably in a couple months, it'll be a year. And honestly, I've gotten pretty good at the game. So, just to pat myself on the back a little bit. But I hope you guys had a great time, and hopefully we can chit chat, talk more, be kind of random and dumb, and that hopefully it's okay. Hopefully you guys don't see this as like lazy content, because it's content I like to make, so get with it. I'm gonna do an outro because I don't typically do an outro, but like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.